In the post-war era, at the beginning of the 50s, the roar of modified engines echoed across North America. A popular new attraction was making its way north from the southern parts of America. Canada would be no exception, making its mark on the history and growth of a new, exciting sport called stock car racing. Rising up from farmers' pastures and empty fields, stock car racing was a rapidly growing sport. It was new, and boy was it exciting. The Canadian Stock Car Racing Club, formed in 1949, would begin overseeing and enforcing the rules and regulations set by the newly formed NASCAR National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. Big Bill France and his associates saw an opportunity to make stock car racing a profitable and national sport. That's another video for another day. By the summer of 1965, it had evolved into a professional sport with its superstars and celebrities. Stock car racing was on the rise. In a small town, approximately a 1.5-hour drive away from the then famous Lansdowne Speedway, located in Ottawa, in the summer of 1965, a man named Pat Hott from Monkland, Ontario, stepped onto the scene to begin promoting stock car racing at the Maxville Fairgrounds. Immediately, the weekly stock car races at the Maxville Fairgrounds would draw thousands of spectators from the small towns, villages, and larger cities surrounding the area. The covered grandstands with the seating capacity for 3,000 people made it an exciting place to be every Sunday afternoon. The season opener of 1966 saw 1,800 eager spectators flock to the stands, ready to cheer on their favorite drivers like Bob Delorme, Jack Atchison, Bob Dickinson, or Jerry LaPearl wheel their cars to victory. The Maxville Fair of 1967 opened with a lot of excitement on Thursday, June 22nd, with the highlight being a 100-lap stock car race on Saturday evening. It was a much-anticipated race, with a lot of exciting action to close out the fair. But beneath the surface, rumblings of unease were beginning to stir in the local community of Maxville. A petition to end stock car racing was circulated before the 1968 season opener, arguing that the bylaw permitting sports on Sundays was intended for more traditional sports. On top of the already growing noise complaints, a common trend existing still today at short tracks around Canada, then tragedy struck. On September 29, 1968, an axle and tire came loose on driver Douglas Dingwall's car, striking 10-year-old Craig LePage. The incident was witnessed by over 1,500 spectators. The following year, Bob Dickinson, driver of the number 457 Pontiac, lost his life in a horrific accident during the opening day of the Maxville Fair, photographed here winning a race 1 week before the horrible accident. Despite these tragic events, stock car racing continued at the fairgrounds, even being featured on CTV News during the 1969 Maxville Highland Games, with about a half-hour segment featuring the stock car races. However, the tide was beginning to turn. Attendance would decline dramatically in the 1970 season. By 1971, talks began of replacing stock car racing with other attractions, including going back to horse racing, due to increasing noise complaints and traffic concerns by local community members. By the early 70s, the once thriving stock car racing scene at the Maxville Fairgrounds was no longer the thing to do Sunday afternoons. Nearby, close to the big city, Cornwall Motor Speedway would begin promoting Thursday night races, later shifting to Sundays. Cornwall Motor Speedway would grow to become one of Canada's most successful dirt tracks, still in operation today. The allure of the big city and the shift in public sentiment led drivers and teams to compete elsewhere or stop racing altogether. And just like that, the era of stock car racing at the Maxville Fairgrounds came to an end. Today, at the Maxville Fairgrounds, the Maxville Highland Games, held every August, is the largest Highland Games outside of Scotland, a large gathering for competition and Scottish culture. In the same grandstands, on the same field that many witnessed the growth of stock car racing. From its exciting inception in the 50s, through its peak in the mid-60s, to its tragic decline in the early 70s, the rise and fall of stock car racing at the Maxville Fairgrounds is a tale of passion, tragedy, and has its mark in the history of stock car racing in Canada. This is the legacy left behind on the once bustling, not-so-silent Maxville Fairgrounds, especially in August, when over 20,000 spectators from around the world will bring the fairgrounds back to life for the Maxville Highland Games. A tradition held since 1948. In 2004, over 500 Celtic dancers set a Guinness World Record for the largest mass performance of Highland and step dance, with 2 other musicians, on the same field as the former stock car races. If you enjoyed learning about the rise and fall of stock car racing at the Maxville Fairgrounds, if you've felt the thrill of a race, the heartache of loss, or learning more about history in Canada, then you are watching the right channel. You are a part of the community that cherishes the rich history of Canadian stock car racing and the automotive world. If you like these kind of videos or would like to learn more, you know the deal. Hit that like and subscribe button. Visit our website, new selection of vintage toy cars and original advertisements available. Stay connected. Thank you for watching.